Picture this: a private Caribbean island, turquoise waves crashing on white sand, infinity pools overlooking the sea, luxury villas where billionaires and princes arrive by private jet. For the guests stepping off helicopters, it was the ultimate escape, a dream retreat owned by one of the world's most connected men. But for the girls, some as young as 12, brought there against their will, it was a locked cage in paradise. Passports taken the moment they landed. No boats out. No phones. One 15-year-old victim, after a day of unimaginable horror, made a desperate choice. She ran to the water and swam into the open ocean, fighting currents, praying for freedom. She didn't make it far. They found her. They brought her back. And now, thanks to millions of pages of Department of Justice files released in January 2026, including victim testimony, photos, videos, and witness accounts, we finally see the full nightmare hidden behind the postcard view. Stay with me, because what those files expose isn't just one escape attempt, it's an entire invisible operation that fooled the world for decades. The paradise built as a truppeth island was Little Sunt. James' 70 acres in the U.S. Virgin Islands, bought by Jeffrey Epstein in 1998 for about $8 million. He turned it into his personal fortress. Hidden coves, a temple-like structure, guest villas, helipad. Powerful men flew in, flight logs and visitor records show names like Prince Indra and billionaire Lus Wuxna among dozens documented. They partied, relaxed, left thinking they'd visited a billionaire's exotic hideaway. Epstein hired experts to make it flawless. One was renowned interior designer Robert Couturier. In 2010, Epstein brought him to the island to decorate bedrooms. Couturier walked in and froze. Epstein asked him to design one room with a very colorful palette for his girls. Then Couturier saw another space, rows of bunk beds, not for staff, not for family. He asked Epstein, "Are you expecting grandchildren?" Epstein replied, "No, these are for the girls." Couturier knew something was deeply wrong. He quit immediately. He went to the FBI and told them everything he'd seen, the colorful room request, the bunk beds meant for multiple young women. That was years before Epstein's final arrest. Yet nothing stopped the island's dark purpose. While elites enjoyed the beaches above, a trafficking network operated below. According to the U.S. Virgin Islands lawsuit, settled in 2022 for over $105 million, and details in the 2026 DOJ files, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell flew girls, some as young as 11 or 12, to the islands by plane, then by boat or helicopter to Little Sunt. James. Passports confiscated on arrival, isolated, told escape was impossible. Staff on the island saw patterns. Young girls shuttled in and out, the same faces repeating. Couturier wasn't alone in his alarm. He later described the setup as screaming that the girls were prisoners. Bunk beds lined up like a dormitory. A bedroom painted bright and playful specifically for the girls. He warned authorities, but the operation continued for years. More victims arrived. More powerful visitors landed, partied, departed. Many later claimed they saw nothing out of place. The luxury masked everything. The files show how Epstein used the remote location, even buying the neighboring Great Sunt, James Island, to shield his activities from law enforcement and prying eyes. Then came the night one girl couldn't endure anymore. She was 15, forced into sexual acts with Epstein and others on the island. After hours of rape, bullying, and terror, as she described in her sworn testimony preserved in the files, she waited for a moment when no one watched. She bolted to the shore, dove into the dark water, swam with everything she had, arms burning, lungs screaming, toward whatever lay beyond the horizon. Epstein and Maxwell noticed her absence. They assembled people. They searched the water. They found her, exhausted and drifting. They dragged her back to the island, as if nothing had happened. That desperate swim is now etched in the Department of Justice records, one of the most haunting pieces of evidence from the entire release. The January 2026 DOJ release, millions of pages, 180,000 images, 2,000 videos, finally lays it bare. Little Sunt. James wasn't just a getaway. It was the nerve center of a long-running trafficking conspiracy. The infinity pools and villas were the facade. The bunk beds, confiscated passports, Terrified young girls shuttled in secret, those were the truth. And the question the files force us to confront remains unanswered. What did the high-profile guests really saw? Colorful bedrooms designed for the gulls, bunk beds for multiple manas. Young women who couldn't love a dud they notice. Or did they choose bluntness? One 15-year-old tried to swim to freedom and was pulled back into hell. Countless others never even reached the water. The files are public now. The evidence is undeniable. The island's secrets are exposed. So tell me in the comments if you'd been invited as a guest to Little Sunt. James, would you have seen the paradise or the prison hiding in plain sight? Drop your honest take below. If you want more breakdowns of the Epstein files and the stories the powerful tried to bury, smash subscribe and turn on notifications.